the San Francisco 49ers hosting the Arizona Cardinals, and this is the one that I was referencing where we've got a little bit of injury news here. Garrett Williams, their cornerback in Arizona, he's going on IR, but Jonathan Gannon said there's potential for him to return, which is good. Max Melton is going to practice for them today. Will Johnson's not going to practice for them today. Once again, we're recording this on Wednesday, but he said that Will Johnson has an opportunity to practice, and he could very well practice and could go out there. So it's a questionable secondary with Garrett Williams, Max Melton, and Will Johnson sort of dealing with those injuries. Obviously, if all of those guys weren't out there, I think this would be not great for the Cardinals. But where do you want to start here? You want to talk about the Cardinals side of things or the Niners?
I'll go with Kyler Murray. And I think one thing that's a little bit different, at least through the first two games, and they haven't played two great teams in the first 2 weeks by any means, but it's really attacking the middle of the field. And I think that's an interesting matchup against this 49er team, especially when you talk about Fred Warner and D. Winters having two of the three best coverage grades in the league among linebackers, both of them above a 91. This is an area of the field I think is really interesting this week for Kyler Murray. So far, a 91.5 passing grade between the numbers over the middle of the field, third best in the NFL, leading the NFL with an 89.3% completion rate, 3 touchdowns, 3 big-time throws. Kyler Murray, when he's gotten in big spots so far this year, has thrown the ball down the middle, down the seams of the defense, over the middle to Trey McBride. Drew Petzing mixes in some middle screens and things like that where the Cardinals can continue to get vertically down the field with their backs and things of that nature. I think this is an interesting moment for Murray if he's going to continue to attack this area of the field. We know how good Fred Warner is, and D. Winters looks like, especially in coverage, and he was really good in coverage last year, he's taken a step up as well. If he's kind of that new Dre Greenlaw type that runs around on the weak side and is covering everything to his side of the field, then I think it's going to be a little bit harder. I think they're going to force Kyler Murray to try to throw it to the outside more often to Marvin Harrison, to Michael Wilson, to maybe the Cardinals are going to have to get in more condensed sets and run out-breaking routes and get out of there in that box. I want to see how much Kyler Murray is going to attack these two linebackers who are both playing at an elite level in coverage right now.
Yeah, that will be a fun chess match with some guys who are playing really, really well. Fred Warner, I believe, just won Defensive Player of the Week this past week as well. Just truly one of the best, not just linebackers. He's the best linebacker, just one of the best defensive players in the NFL. I'm going to have a little bit of a theme here, I guess, for these last couple of games. As I'm looking at my notes. Running the football. You've got to be able to run the football in this league, and the 49ers have not been able to run the football through 2 games. They are 30th in team rushing grade at a 61.0, and they are 24th in the NFL at EPA per rush. The Cardinals defense on the other side, they're 14th in run defense grade at a 67.1, and they're 7th best at EPA per rush allowed. So the Cardinals have done a really good job neutralizing what other teams want to do on the ground. And quite frankly, this Kyle Shanahan team has not been able to get it going despite Christian McCaffrey being out there. He's been much better as a receiver than he has been as a runner. And so if you can take that away once again, and you can make Mac Jones, who I remember Mac Jones is going to play this week, right? I mean, like, I thought the Brock Purdy injury, the window for it was pretty big. It was like, oh, he might miss 2 weeks or 6 weeks, if I'm remembering that correctly.
I think 2 to 4, they said. I'm 99% sure it'll be Mac Jones this week, yeah.
So I was going to say, I think that it will still be Mac Jones this week. And Mac Jones was good last week, but he wasn't asked to do a ton. If you get them behind on the scoreboard, if Murray can really continue to attack deep down the field the way that you have talked about him having the potential to be able to do, especially if he could have success over the middle of the field, which is tough to do against this Niners defense. If the Cardinals can really get the Niners behind the sticks, and depending on whether or not their corners are healthy, I guess that goes into it as well. All that to say, the Niners have not been able to run the football the way that they need to consistently win football games against the best opponents. And the Cardinals have been pretty good at stopping that so far through 2 weeks. So which one changes, if anything changes at all? Because if the Cardinals are still able to neutralize the Niners the way they've been neutralized over the last couple of weeks, I do like Arizona's chances. Now, for the sake of us disagreeing, because I feel like we've agreed too much here on this show, I have the exact same score as you. I just have it flipped. I have the 49ers winning this game 23-20, and I see that you have the Cardinals winning 23-20.
Yeah, I think this was one of the harder games to pick, and I don't. You're right. I don't like agreeing with you this much. Feels weird. Yeah,
I know. I think we
it
only have, like,
benefited
two.
me more last week to disagree with you. That's how I ended up at 15-1, and you didn't. But either way, I mean, we're
Should
just
have been 14-2. Should have been 14-2. Should have been 14-2.
Hey, 60 minutes in a football game. Got to play all 60 of them, sometimes more.
I was going to say, apparently you got to play 60 minutes and 30 and actually 10 seconds, whatever it is that they have the untimed down. So,
Well, yeah, exactly. You know what? Every play
60 a
matters.
60-minute game, actually. Yeah, the Broncos won. The Broncos won the 60-minute game.
I mean, penalties matter too, though. You can't. I told
I'm
you.
just saying. I'm just saying.
Trevor, remember this: undisciplined habits bring undisciplined results. That's what they got from that game. It's
Winnable games are only winnable if you win them.
It's that simple. Football's that simple. Cardinals 23-20, tough game to pick. I'm going to believe Kyler Murray pulls one out here. A big division game, and I think the Cardinals' secondary injuries are a big problem, right? And you're still talking about Juwan Jennings and Ricky Pearsall and Christian McCaffrey, good weapons for this Niner team to attack with. I just think the Cardinals, I want to see them run the football a little bit better in this game. If they can do that, I think they're at a pretty solid advantage here. Give me Arizona in a hard-fought game.
It would be a big win for Kyler Murray to get in the early parts of the season. So it would be cool to see that. But Donnie in the chat is saying this, and I agree with him. If Will and Max are out there, you feel pretty good about it. If either of those guys or both of those guys certainly aren't in the lineup at cornerback for the Cardinals, then you start to get worried about what Juwan Jennings and Ricky Pearsall and Christian McCaffrey as a receiver can do against this team.